going on? This is Jake from Warcry Games, and this is my personal top 10 games of 2024. It's my personal list, and I'm sure yours will differ. Feel free to leave whatever your favorite games are in the comments down below. These games either have solid release dates or have been provided a release year by the developer. So let's start off with number 10. Number 10 is Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons remake, coming out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox February 28th. I've always heard great things about this game. I missed out on the original release. The story looks very interesting. It's two brothers embarking on a journey tinged with adventure and mystery. Their goal is to find the water of life in order to save their ill father. It's set in this fantasy fairy tale world and just looks beautiful and very well updated for modern consoles. Number 9, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 for PC and Xbox, coming out May 21st. So I played the first title exclusively in VR, and it was one of the most immersive experiences I've ever had. I believe it was on my Rift CV1, so I had those drop-down built-in headphones, and I could just hear the whispers all around me as I was playing. I remember the combat not being super satisfying, and the puzzles weren't really interesting, but that experience of hearing voices and having a sidebar with your own psychosis was super unique, and it's something that I've never encountered before or since in a game.
Fades away.
This game was announced back at the Xbox Series X unveiling, if I remember correctly, so it's definitely been cooking for a minute. Number 8, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, coming out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox late 2024. This is coming in from Don't Nod. I personally loved Life is Strange and the prequel Before the Storm. Gives off the same vibes, it's just set in the 90s, so I'm definitely interested in checking this out when it comes out later this year. Number 7, Visions of Mana for PC, PS5, and Xbox. This is coming out in the summer, and for the Mana series, I've only ever played Secret of Mana and was honestly not as impressed. I thought it was decent, but it really didn't live up to the hype for me, and I never actually completed it. So the series is still relatively fresh to me. The trailer for Visions of Mana looked stunning, reminded me of Dragon Quest X in a way, just more action combat focused. I did love that game and had an itch for something like it ever since I played it on the Switch years ago. Combat looks fluid and fun, more similar to the Yeast series, like Lacrimosa of Dana, and I'm ready to dive straight in this summer. Number 6 is Stellar Blade for the PS5. This is coming out April 26th, and this game is giving me strong Nier Automata vibes with third-person action combat using precise timing, more akin to Bayonetta. I love both those games, so this one actually spoke to me, especially with the recent trailer at the Sony's recent State of Play. The premise seems similar to Astral Chain, which I actually did a full playthrough here on my channel at launch, and I really enjoyed the story. Looking forward to trying this one out soon.
Players will take control of Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad. Her mission is to save the planet by defeating the Elder Nativa. All we must do is complete the mission. While most...
Number 5 is Rise of the Ronin for PS5. This is coming out March 22nd. Something unique about this game that caught my attention is the era that it's set in. It's actually 19th century Japan versus, say, Ghost of Tsushima, or most other samurai games being set several hundred years earlier, like 16th century or so. This is being developed by Team Ninja, the same devs behind Ninja Gaiden and the Neo series, so you know the combat's going to be good. I loved Ghost of Tsushima and Ninja Gaiden, so I'm going to be all over this around launch.
主人公は鍵縄を使って屋根の上に登ったり、装置アビキルを使って高所から滑空し上空を移動することも可能です。
Number 4, Dragon's Dogma 2 for PS5, PC, and Xbox, coming out March 22nd. So I've only dabbled in the Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen game just a little bit, but it definitely left a mark. It was a unique game with this large open world and with just these like massive monsters. The combat was super satisfying. It was not very hard to just pick up and play. It looks like the new title is taking the same formula but cranking everything way up. Huge monsters, these destructible environments, a world map that's supposedly 4 times larger than the size of the first game, and it just looks beautiful. Number 3, Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes for PC, PS4, 5, Switch, and Xbox. This is coming out April 23rd. So for this game, I've been a Kickstarter backer since the 2020 run and have been waiting for this game to finally release. Visuals, just beautiful. I love that 2D character aesthetic in the 3D world, HD 2D, whatever you call it. It does look a little bit different than, like, say, Octopath Traveler, but the fighting does look like a mix of Octopath Traveler and Child of Light or something similar to that. It's supposed to be more of a modern take on a traditional turn-paced JRPG genre, so I'm looking forward to trying it out here in a few months.
Each hero you encounter has their own backstory and motivation. They may not always get along at first, but these conflicts may strengthen the bonds between your heroes. Trust, betrayal, justice, and truth.
Number 2, Black Myth Wukong for the PC, PS5, and Xbox, coming out August 20th. I'm absolutely enthralled with this game. It's an action RPG game that I'm hoping leans a little bit more into the Dark Souls combat versus Neo, but either way is shaping up to be an awesome title. The story is inspired by Journey to the West. It's a classic Chinese novel from the 16th century, which also inspired works like the Dragon Ball series. This is also one of the relatively few games that we've actually seen running in Unreal Engine 5, so I'm definitely keeping a close eye on this. Knowing another 6 or so months left until this comes out.
Folks always win.
Because goodness without teeth punishes not. It only foments evil. Cleanse the world with blood and grow lotuses in it. That is your destiny.
Before we move into number 1, I wanted to throw out a few honorable mentions. Avowed for PC and Xbox, coming out in the fall. So Obsidian's developing this, gives off the strong Skyrim meets Fallout New Vegas kind of vibes, at least from what I've been able to see so far. I will say the combat looks a little stiff, and when you swing your weapon it looks like it's a little heavy, if that makes sense, but I'm still curious about the ranged and magic based playthrough of the game. Next honorable mention is Little Nightmares 3 for PC, PS, and Xbox. Really love the first title. Very creepy atmosphere. Enemies were just perfect. Played some of the second, never fully finished it, but this trailer hit home for me. It's got online co-op as well. It's going to be a really good time to hop on with a friend, and that's actually the first time in the series that they've done that, so I'm very interested. Another honorable mention is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remaster for Switch. Never played this one on the GameCube, but know it's widely renowned as the best in the series. I'm pretty curious what the reception for a remake is going to be like in 2024, and depending on how it's received is whether or not I'm going to pick this up. It's an honorable mention. It's not my number 1, but I'm probably going to get flack for this, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the PS5 coming out just in a couple weeks, February 29th. I haven't played the first. I went through the demo and enjoyed it. Even same with the Final Fantasy 16 demo, but never committed to the full game yet. I never played the original game, so I don't have that nostalgia. It'd be coming in as like a kind of like a fresh perspective. Just looking for a good sale to jump in prior to coming into the sequel. Last one for honorable mention is Windblown. It's going to be PC early access sometime this year. I saw this at the Game Awards in 2023, coming from makers of Dead Cells. Love the movement and combat. This looks like a really great co-op roguelike game and a solid follow-up to their last title, so looking forward to this dropping. Now for my number one, it is Hades 2. So right now they've just announced that early access Q2, which goes from April till June. At some point around there, they're actually going to release this, but I was so addicted to the first Hades title when it dropped. I loved the lore, mythology, the atmosphere, the gameplay. It was just so much fun. It had me hooked. I think they nailed down the roguelike loop, and each subsequent run felt pretty new, pretty rewarding. You didn't feel bad dying and going back through it because you were always stronger. I think Hades 2 looks like it's going to be just as good, adding in new characters, abilities, new protagonists to play as. And this is also the first time the developer Supergiant has created a direct sequel, which makes complete sense considering how well the first game was received. Just really looking forward to trying out the early access later this year. Currently slated for PC, but it's likely going to follow up on all available platforms, just like the first one did, several years ago.
Vengeance for your family awaits you.
He is no mere titan. He is time itself, and time cannot be stopped.
Wait for me, Father. I'll be this.
And that's it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you're looking forward to any of these games or have one that's on your list that's not on mine, feel free to throw it down in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Take care.